What's up, guys? It's Nate here with another honest review on the M3S, the Dye M3S or M3 Plus. So we're just gonna jump right into it. We've got 10 categories, score out of a 10 in each category. Gives you a total score out of 100 at the end. Um, so you can kind of compare it to my other reviews. Um, First things first is packaging. It's coming in really nice semi-rigid case, pretty much like any other marker that you're getting nowadays. The Luxes, any of the Dye guns, even the newer Bob Long guns are coming in pretty much a similar case. Planet Eclipse, pretty similar case. Very nice case. Comes with two barrel backs, barrel tip, and the spares, the charging mat, and all that for this. A little bit of lube and stuff. So pretty standard packaging, but outstanding. So 10 out of 10. Looks is the next category. So I gave looks a 9 out of 10 on this. I'm a lot happier with the way this looks over the M2. The milling is a lot more aggressive, as you can see. And then the anodizing they did on these is incredible. They did all the faded black to whatever fade colors, kind of a throwback to the old school days. That used to be like the popular thing. Especially that black to red fade one is really killer. Then they got the Russian Legion one, that's really killer. This black to gray is pretty good looking. And then of course the M3 Plus, they're allowing teams to make their own, complete custom designs with them. So definitely looks 9 out of 10. Really sweet looking guns. Really great anodizing jobs and all that. So looks 9 out of 10. Shot quality, okay. Shot quality is way better than the M2. So this is this gun has the updated solenoid housing, soft tip bolt, and the new eye pipe. And the only reason that I gave the shot quality an 8 is because it's not quite as smooth as like a Lux, OLED or something, but it's way smoother than the M2. It's way quieter. It's very quiet, very smooth, very soft. Gives you just a little bit of feedback, but very soft, kind of a plop sound or a thud, like a thud. Very soft thudding sound when it shoots. Very little recoil, but does give you just a little bit of feedback to know that you're shooting. I'm really happy with the way that this thing shoots. It's a phenomenal shooter. So shot quality 8 out of 10. Our next category, ergonomics. So pretty similar to the M2. I gave the ergonomics a 10 out of 10. The ultralight frame, super comfortable. Thin at the top, fat at the bottom, fits your hand really well. The trigger is super good. They make different shapes of triggers for this now. It's magnetic. You can adjust a ton of stuff on it. Pre-travel, post-travel, magnet tension, activation point, and the actual arc of the trigger. So if you wanted the trigger to stick out a little bit more, you can actually change it so it arcs up like that. Rubberized grips all over the place, the front, the back. You bring your thumb up a little higher on this one now because there's no LPR there. There's no weird bump thing at the top here. It's nice and it's kind of flat. It does have some milling, like a design, but doesn't have that big lump there like the M2 did. So it's very comfortable no matter how you hold it. Actually find myself wrapping my thumb, which I hardly ever do, but with this marker it's just very natural to wrap your thumb. So yeah, ergonomics definitely a 10 out of 10 with this thing. The next category is reliability. So gave it a 9 out of 10 because when the M3S first came out, there was a lot of problems with breaking paint and stuff like that. Then the updated parts came out. There was some issues with like a first shot drop off and stuff, but now they pretty much got the you know, the settings and stuff dialed in for the new updated parts, and it shoots really well. The bolt's very very similar to like the Ivy core. So the way that it operates is very reliable as opposed to the old the bolt system they used for fucking 10 years or 20 years or whatever, the fuse bolt. So now it's more of a newer bolt style, like all the most of the other guns, very similar to that. So it's very reliable. I give it a 9 out of 10 just because of the first few hiccups. And if anybody has one of these and they're having issues, dwell at 20, first shot drop at 10. You know, clean and lube it like normal. And that's pretty much the only settings that you really need to mess with. And this thing will just shoot and shoot and shoot. It's very solid, very reliable. So give it a 9 out of 10 reliability. Air efficiency, okay, 8 out of 10. This is more efficient than the M2 in stock form. I think you're like around 14 to 1500 shots off of a 6845, if I'm not mistaken. So it is quite a bit more efficient than like any of the Luxes. It's more efficient than the older die guns. It's as efficient, I would say, as efficient as like the Gamma Core in the G-Tech, and it shoots way smoother than that. So yeah, air efficiency 8 out of 10. I mean, you're not going to be able to shoot a full case off of a one tank fill, you know, a 6845 fill, but you will, you know, get through as much paint as you need to in a, you know, in most situations. So pretty good air efficiency, 8 out of 10. Build quality. So this, they improved over the M2. They pretty much made everything toolless. The stuff that you do need Allen keys for is pretty stout. There's not little teeny tiny screws and stuff like that. They still have the issue with the grip tearing. I had the same issue with my M2. Just this back piece wears out. It's really thin right here, and it ends up splitting there. Other than that, I'd say the build quality is solid. The new eye pipe's really, you can tell it's very durable, very thick. You know, it's not going to just break super easy. I guess the only other thing I could say negatively about the build quality is if you look down in this bore, which you're not going to be able to see it, but it's the milling kind of looks, you know, for that to bore out that hole for where the engine goes in. It looks kind of choppy a little bit, like it's not totally finished or anything, but I guess most of them look like that, and they never really have any issues. So build quality 9 out of 10, really, really solid, really nice. You know, no small things to strip out or anything. Serviceability 10 out of 10. So the regulator is toolless. See those four that little target looking thing? You just stick a quarter in those slots and you can take apart the HPR and clean it. This rubber grip comes off if you need to, you know, clean out the, you know, if the paint gets in these cracks or anything. It just snaps back into place very easily. The grips are toolless, so if you need to get in there for whatever reason, you know, everything's really, really, really easy to service on this gun. You know, still got the push button bolt release, and this is all really easy. You know, just twist it apart, clean it, lube it, slide it back in. It's ready to rock. So serviceability 10 out of 10. Super duper easy to maintain this. Let's see, upgradability, I gave it a 10 out of 10. So you've got the M3S, then they came out with the M3 Plus, and then all the updates. I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but they were giving you the new eye pipe and the new soft tip bolt for basically the price of shipping. I think $10 or something. They're giving it to you if you had the M3S, and that pretty much solved most of the paint breakage issues. They also have a new solenoid housing you can buy for it that the Plus already has. The M3S does not. This one has it, and that makes the shot a little bit softer, and you can tell the difference there. It also makes it a little bit easier on paint and stuff. Yeah, so, and then the new I-pipe is also a very nice improvement. You can shoot smaller paint because the detent system is a little bit different. So, yeah, so upgradability is 10 out of 10. You can get all the Plus upgrades. The Plus trigger you can get for it, or they have a bunch of different trigger shapes that Dye has released for free. If you have a 3D printer or know somebody with a 3D printer, you can just print you out whatever trigger you want. They release the files for free, so you can access that anytime you want. The new Slap ASA does fit this. I don't have it on there. They make a few different colors in the grips and stuff. Yeah, I think it's upgradability is 10 out of 10. Autococker threaded barrels, anything you would want for this marker you can pretty much get. So 10 out of 10 there. Programming, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's pretty much the same board that the M2 came with. If you had a Moss Air M2, it does have the wireless charging, which is pretty epic. And then it's got a very big screen. And you can customize what's on the screen. You can customize, change the modes and all that. Different player profiles. There's different drills and all kinds of different stuff in this board. Most of it, a lot of it you probably won't even get into, but very easy to navigate. It's got the 5-way joystick and a really big screen. It does have a pressure readout still for the HPR. When you air it up, it shows you exactly what your pressure is running at. Gives you like a service interval time where it counts your shots, and after so many shots it gives you an alarm that says, hey, you need to clean your gun or whatever. Yeah, so the programming's pretty good. Again, same thing, I would like to see the customizable ramping. But yeah, it's pretty solid programming other than that, so 8 out of 10 there. Add all those up, you're at 90 out of 100. So 90 out of 100, I think that's the highest score that I've given thus far. So I'm really happy with this new marker from Dye. It's about time they did something new, something that they branched off with, and I think it's a huge improvement over their last year's model or whatever, so the M2. And the last category is, so you got 90 out of 100 total. The last category I added in recently, it's given a score out of 10 for value. So here's the thing. These are just as much as any of the other new markers, brand new, $1,500 or whatever. At that price, not a very good value because the resale on these sucks. But because the M3S had so many issues, you can find a lot of them that have the updated parts like I did, and you can get them for about $600 at this time. We're March 2019 at this point. I paid $600 for this, already had the updated parts, had everything it would come with, new in the case, super great condition, and I'd say at that $600 price, at the used price, your value is very good. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Don't buy one new. Buy one new if you're gonna keep it and shoot it for a while. But if you're worried about the value, the resale value or anything, if you buy one used, I feel like $600 for this is a huge steal. So for the performance in the marker that you get. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe and like and all that good stuff.